Hey everyone, I'm Art of Breeze. This is Summoner Wars, and today I've got Summoner Wars SW League Season 9, Division 2. The guy on the bottom is Prophet, and the guy on the top is Hemlock. Hemlock makes the right move here, trying to take out that Machinist early. As some of you have heard, getting a Moto Boots on that starting Machinist and turning Vlox into a double hitting Final Form Vlox is definitely the way to go. Take that Machinist out early, you avoid that. This is a nice counter to clean up the zone by Prophet here. Looking very good so far. I think the thing I noticed right away, we don't see Sneaks moving up at all. And I'd venture a guess and say that his gates are buried. That can be bad for Sneaks, and that will prove to be bad for Sneaks in this game as well. Sneaks can be very dangerous, but he is also somewhat draw dependent. To an extent, the cloaks are as well, but probably to a lesser extent. Here you see a move where that Machinist gets summoned, does nothing, and is going to die the next turn. Not a great use of 3 cards. Obviously, Prophet had some bad dice luck there and wasn't able to finish that one unit, and it's just unfortunate. Looking at the discard piles now, the cloaks are actually behind the Cave Goblins. This matchup, they're going to stay pretty even throughout the game until the very end frames. I do think that the cloaks can gain economy on the Cave Goblins. For that reason, the Cave Goblins have to add some more pressure than they're adding right now. And once again, I suspect the reason why we're not seeing that pressure from Hemlock is because he's not getting any starting gates to establish deep positioning. So here we got Moto Boots going on to that Machinist. We're going to see Final Form Vlox make an appearance right away here. Well, kind of. I don't know if I ever see a hand cannon go on Vlox this game. Final Form Vlox is when you add the Moto Boots and the hand cannon on the Machinist. And typically you want to hide that Machinist. You only want to expose that Machinist like that when you have Smoke Bomb, which of course he does. That gives you 1 free turn when you can hit up to 4 melee dice. And then that also gives you the next turn, where you can potentially hit and then run away. Without Smoke Bomb, though, you pretty much always want to protect that Machinist that has those cards on there. The 2 cost of the Machinist and the 1 cost of Moto Boots and the cost of the cards themselves makes that Machinist quite expensive. I was a little confused here why the gunner did not move the sniper in front to protect herself. Not sure the reasoning there. Obviously here, Hemlock punishes that move. Now I like the forward position that Vlox is setting up here. At the same time, we still don't see any gates from Hemlock. This move here I'm a little confused about too. That's wasted card there. You spend 2 cards to get the gunner up there to put 3 dice on Sneaks. 3 range dice, where we all know every once in a while you only get 1 or sometimes even 0. Of course you got 3 for 3, so probably a good investment there. Now here Sneaks is starting to build up. Now here's another curious thing. Where that gate went down, you've just created a space where that Machinist can just operate, push himself in there and just start hammering away and be relatively protected from all aggression. I tend to avoid dropping any walls right next to or kitty corner to any opponent's walls, because you don't have to move to cover them. You just have to summon a unit, especially a unit like, or a faction like Vlox. You've got bandits, they cost 0 and you can just put them there. Another curious thing is that Sneaks here is exposed, and you're going to see here, now Sneaks has taken 5 damage in 2 shots. He's already at half health. He's already vulnerable to a move by Dagger. It's basically over for him and his aggression. The only time that Sneaks is going to be able to now do anything in this game is if he manages to get a unit in next to Vlox, attacks Vlox, and then Sneaks will swoop in for the finishing move. You do see that a lot in this matchup, and really in any matchup where Sneaks is there. Once he's taken damage, he hides in the back row. Of course, it is very hard to hide from Vlox. And out comes Dagger. The way I like to use Dagger in this matchup, well, I don't mind this actually. This is actually a really cool use of Dagger. See, Out of Shadows was used to get Dagger into that spot. Now, obviously, you could have done more damage if you had risked Vlox, but it's not wise to do that unless you're going to actually finish him off. With 4 melee dice and 3 range dice, I mean, you almost could finish the game right there. Obviously, Dagger whiffed. Now, I did not like where Dagger was left. You've always got to protect Dagger. 6 health is not enough, as you'll see right here. He got 1 turn out of Dagger, 1 hit, and now Dagger's gone. His best weapon in this matchup probably is gone. Very unfortunate, although you'll notice here Hemlock has created this diagonal gate formation, and that can be really problematic too. Notice how at this moment, after losing Dagger, the discard piles are no longer equal. Vlox is actually behind here. He's fallen behind economically. This is really the moment where Sneaks, maybe if Sneaks had more health, he could have pushed forward, or if he had found those walls sooner, he could have pushed harder. I would have liked to have seen the wall on the left side of the map instead of the right side where he did put it. That way he could get more units off of it and create more flooding in that open area. What we're going to have going into the end game here is this huge gap of 4 spaces between the opponent's walls. It's very hard for a non-ranged faction to come swinging out of their zone when there's a huge gap like that. That's actually how you beat factions like the Fallen Kingdom or the Cave Goblins. Although it is much easier for the Cave Goblins to handle a big gap like that. But typically speaking, any faction, Tundra Orcs, Fallen Kingdom are the big 2. There may be others to come, who knows. But whenever you're out there in the open like that, it can be tough. And I think that's going to ultimately lead to Sneak's undoing here. I think I saw both sides make enough choices that the game was close. Towards the end here, if you're noticing, Sneaks is starting to run out of some dice luck, which obviously doesn't help things in the least. However, the real problem is once these units are cleaned out, there's no units that are going to come back and retaliate. In fact, they're going to get eaten up. At this moment, there was that brief moment after Dagger was destroyed when Sneaks had the economic advantage. But now you can see Vlox firmly has the economic advantage. He's making use of... That's another nice use of Smoke Bomb here. Give that unit that was sure to die some extra mileage. Make them the perfect blocker. They cannot be attacked. Obviously, the way to counter a Smoke Bomb use like that is any faction that has direct damage. CG is not one of them. They have very little to no direct damage. Like, they really don't have any unless they use a mercenary like Con Queso. So, Smoke Bomb is extra effective. At this moment here, they're just going through the motions. You can see, oh, out comes Sin Sin. We haven't seen her at all today. That's a huge amount of health, obviously. And I mean, look at that. We've got 2 units with 3 health, 1 unit with 6. Plus Vox has got 7 health. That's enough to take a hit for sure. This game is basically over. It's just a matter of time now. They're going through the motions. I would say well done on Prophet's end. I think that there were some critical decisions that were made, probably motivated by dice luck or by draw luck more than anything, I think. Not having those walls at the right time can really kill Sneaks' momentum. And that appears to be what happened here. So at least you can see it's a winnable matchup for the Cloaks. It's not an absolute blowout. And well done for both of these guys, and good luck in the rest of the season.